And joining us now is Ricky Hernandez, CFO for Pima County School Superintendent Office. Ricky, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin with, at the local level, that's how dollars from the state are really disseminated.
Correct. Yeah. Our local school boards, our local superintendents are really ultimately making the kinds of decisions they need to make to support their schools, their kids, their teachers in their communities. So the decisions that are made here locally are probably the ones that impact the most in the classroom.
And oftentimes the district will decide we need to put that money toward capital improvements versus teacher pay.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of the competing interest that we've come to right now, with teacher retention and teacher recruitment being so important related to teacher pay. We're finding ourselves at a time where we have to compete between how we pay teachers an adequate salary and how we maintain a safe and healthy environment for kids to learn.
When the state legislature, the governor announced that there are X amount of more dollars, millions of dollars for a school district, can they decide where that money should go?
Generally, they can decide. Sometimes we do find ourselves receiving pots of funding from the legislature and the governor that come with certain levels of strings. For example, the recent 1.06% salary increase or raise for teachers did come with very specific elements, very specific criteria that school districts were required to use in order to distribute those dollars to teachers.
Is there a way for the state to really monitor and ensure that's taking place?
Usually they'll implement some sort of auditing standard in a school district's annual audit to ensure that they've complied with the request of the legislature.
Before the interview began, you mentioned a figure to me of how do we get Arizona where it needs to be in order to offer competitive packages to lure teachers to Arizona.
So one of the figures that's pretty remarkable that's out there is there's a lot of discussion about getting Arizona teachers to the median average salary across the United States. And in order for Arizona to get there, we would need an extra $950 million just to get teachers to the average salary of other teachers across the country. That's certainly a daunting figure, knowing full well that we're $2 billion in back pay on capital infrastructure needs from the state legislature and the governor as well.
You're the guy in Pima County who watches the checkbook. Are we making progress toward getting there?
We're certainly making some progress, but it has a lot to do with a lot of the creativity that our school finance officials, that our superintendents are doing in their respective communities to try to make those dollars go a lot further, going back to their voters for things like overrides and bonds in order to accomplish the things that they need to do for their schools.
Because there's a base pay that the state will give to per pupil spending, but then there are other factors that jump those numbers up.
Certainly, every school district, every charter school in Pima County receives basically an equalized portion of state aid. But in particular, school districts have this ability to conduct an override election or ask for bonding authority in order to augment or to support additional programs that their communities feel are important for their kids.